Hello, welcome to my channel. My name is Joy, and today we're going to be seeing what the next 2 weeks have in store for you. What's your story? What energy is going to be around you? Perhaps what can you expect, or what can you look forward to? We'll just see what comes through on the cards. Again, it's a collective reading, so take what you can and put it. You can also, use your own intuition as well as onto what the cards are showing and what I'm saying. If the story doesn't seem right, but you're getting some type of message from it, then that's meant for you. So let's go ahead, cut, and begin. And your first card is the Ten of Swords. Ten of Swords. This is representing you at this time. This can also be representing that perhaps you're even a Taurus, or there's some Taurus energy around you at this time. But all right. So this is showing me. This is telling me that at this time right now you may be feeling like you're being pushed back or held down by something. There's something really heavy on your heart right now, and you don't quite understand why these people or this situation is bringing on such a heavy heart to you. You just can't fathom it. You can't imagine why, and you just don't see the reasons of why you're feeling pretty much like perhaps you're feeling down or depressed, or you just don't understand why there is this situation going on with you that you feel in the dark. You feel perhaps you're feeling left out on something, and you just can't put your mind on it. You just can't grasp what this reason is for this I'm going to say this attack, okay? This attack on you. Because these are swords, right? These are swords, and they're stabbing, they're knocking you to the ground. You're just having a very hard time understanding why this is what you're going through and why you're going through this. All right? That's how I'm feeling, what I'm getting about you at this time, at this moment here. So let's go ahead and see what the energy around this is. What's the energy around this? You have the Daughter of Swords. The Daughter of Swords here. The energy of this, you have the energy of this beautiful owl in this sword. This owl has a sword with her as well, and she's perched on it pretty well, right? As you can see here. Now, this owl sitting on this sword is very, very carefree. So there's some energy that wants to come around you and lift your spirits. Lift your spirits. You've got these are swords, okay? Swords are of the air. Swords are about communication as well. So the energy around you is communication. Communication. You have these beautiful stars. You have these beautiful stars lit up around this owl here. So the energy around you is telling you to believe. To believe in your own heart. Believe in your intuition. Okay? Believe in yourself. Don't believe the harsh words or what is stabbing you and holding you down. Don't let others right now, I'm going to say, take your thunder away from you. You're a very entrepreneurish person, and the energy around you also is saying, don't look back. Don't look back. You want to look forward. You want to look to the stars. You want to, You know, you want to keep moving up the ladder and moving forward. You don't want to be stepped down and be held down in here, because, you know, look at this beautiful owl. She's pure white, right? A lot of innocence about yourself. So I don't know what or whom is, you know, giving you this hard situation, this stabbing you, you know, making you feel so down and low about yourself, when the energy around you is trying to come open and up, come out to the light, come out and show yourself. Show yourself. Show this situation or these people your power, your energy. You know, you have these beautiful stars. You know, wish upon a star. Get out and get out there and look to the sky. You know, look to the sky, right? Hold your head up high, in other words, okay? Hold your head up high and be proud. Look how beautiful this owl is, sitting so proudly on this sword. So proudly on this sword here. So like, you can throw all the swords you want at me, but I'm not going to take that. I'm not going to let that. I'm going to keep shining. You're going to keep shining. And that's the energy that's around you. Okay? Or that's trying to come forward to you. Or, like I said, is around you. You just might not be noticing it, because you may be so low, you know, so low, and I'm going to say saddened by perhaps the situation that's going on with you. All right? But remember, you know, you're very wise, young, entrepreneurish. You know, you're always shooting for the stars. You're going for your goals. Don't let these people and this darkness. Look at this darkness on this card. You know, get yourself up off the dirt. Get yourself up out of the dirt. You know, here's a bull here. You know, mighty strong bull here. Take that stamina. Take the stamina of the bull and the wise and the wisdom from this owl. Okay? And rise above it. Rise above it. Let's see what your next card is. I was going to say, but I didn't. I was going to take your sword and hold it high. And look what just came through, another sword. Now you have the Son of Swords. The Son of Swords is the Knight of Swords. Alright? You know, the Knight of Swords in the regular tarot deck, you know, he's riding on that horse, and the horse, you know, he's going very steadfast and true, and he's going zoom, you know, he's zooming right to cut to the chase. You know, he's just cutting to the chase and getting to whatever dilemma or whatever it is he's trying to conquer. You know, he's on his high horse and he's rearing it up and he's zooming along. And that's exactly what this owl, look at this owl here. Look how you've transformed once you've taken the energy from this owl, right? And you've risen up from this darkness. You know, you want to take this control from your looking up, look ahead, look at the stars, make your wish, get your movement going. You know, an entrepreneur, you start something fresh and new, right? You've got the wisdom. Definitely have that. You definitely have the knowledge and the wisdom to make whatever this dilemma is, or the situation that's holding you down, to move forward. There's a lot of wisdom and knowledge with both of these owls. But like I was saying, this is the Knight, or the Son of Swords. And look at him. Look how he is. He's got this, he's, you know, he's just not perching on the sword anymore, right? He's like, okay, I'm going to take this in control. I'm going to take this bull by the horns, and I'm going to take control now. He's taking control. He's coming down from the sky with his sword. You know, with his sword, you know, wants to knock out he wants to knock out this darkness. Look how dark these swords are, for heaven's sakes, around this energy around you at this time, right? He's coming down fiercely. This owl's telling you to you know, have awareness of basically of what you're going against, possibly. You know, there are these swords here. You know, take awareness of what you are going for. You can't achieve this. The swords of your voice. The swords represent your voice, communication. Let yourself be heard. Let yourself be heard. If you can't be heard, then let yourself be seen. You know, you're looking up to the sky. You're starting to feel better about yourself, right? And if there's still some wounds from whatever this is that's going on with you now, they're going to dissipate. They're going to dissipate because now you're bringing this sword down from raising yourself up and trying to get through this darkness, right? The darkness, what you can't see. See how the sword is through his eyes here? You pulled that sword out. Now you're coming down, and you're going to communicate, and you're going to let others know, and you're going to cut through that strife, and you're going to be strong. You're going to be very strong. The strong feelings are coming in now that it's not going to let you feel so down in the dirt, down to the ground, right? Whoosh down in the ground. Now you've had your, this is your energy, right? This was your energy, that white, comforting energy, right? But you're still holding your sword. So now you know, you will find out throughout this week, that it is now time to start, take flight, right? Take flight, take that sword, and show them, and show those, or this situation that you're not going to let them harm you anymore. You're not going to let them harm you. It's going to be, that's something that you need to be aware of, not to let others keep harming you on this, okay? You're very wise. You're very wise, and you have the knowledge, and you absolutely have the power, right? Absolutely have the power of the air, because you just think of the element of the air, the wind, how forceful it can be, right? It can be tame, right? It can be tame. Here you're tame. The whirlwind's coming in now, right? And you're soaring through it. You're coming down with that sword, right? With your knowledge, and you're going to take that sword, and you're going to just go. Psh, you're just going to top these swords off. You're going to kind of like a tornado that tops off the trees, right? That's what's going. That is your energy. That is the energy that this owl is portraying to you. And now we have the 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 of Pentacles. 4 of Pentacles here is telling you again, don't hold back. Don't hold back. Keep yourself in balance. Keep yourself in balance and don't hold back. Don't hold back those feelings. Don't hold back your words, but keep them in balance. You don't want to be overpowering. You don't want to be overpowering, but you don't want to be exactly all calm either, right? So this card is showing you a balance. See how it's, it's totally balancing itself out here. Eight of Swords. Now here you are. Here you are, you're resting on these swords again. There's a lot of air, a lot of communication. There's got to be something going on with you these next couple weeks. It has to do with communication, whether it's emails, social media, Facebook, whatever. There's a lot of communication going on right now. Maybe a lot of text messages. Maybe you're making a lot of phone calls, long distance calls. Maybe you're, having a little spat with someone that's in another state. Whatever your scenario is, whatever that's going on, it definitely has a lot to do with the world, with the communication, right? Going around in circles, trying to keep balance, north, south, east, and west. All directions, in all directions. All directions. These swords. This is showing that you're going to be transforming. You see these swords here? They're all pointing up now. Here they're pointing down. Here they are pointing down. You're in a, you're going to be coming out of those shadows. You're going to be coming out of these shadows. You're going to be coming out of the shadows of this communication gap that you may be in. Okay? You're ready to open your wings. You know, this is like a metamorphosis card. It's kind of like a transformation. It's kind of like a transition as well for you. Beautiful monarch butterfly. Monarch butterfly. When you think of a monarch, you think of the king. You think of a queen. Your higher, the hierarchy. Oh boy. Hierarchy. Hierarchy? Well, I'm sure you know what I'm trying to say. The higher powers in you. All right? Because you do have, when we look at these cards, you do have, actually, this is the page on the Knight of Swords here, right? Here's the monarch. Here's the monarch right here. Oops. Right here. That's you. You're going to absorb this. You're going to absorb and take notice from these owls. All right? And you're going to fly and you're going to soar. You're going to be the king. You're going to be the queen. You're going to own your shit, in other words. You're going to own your shit. Own your shit. You've got the power. You've got the wisdom and the knowledge for sure. Right? One more card. The Temperance. Here's the Temperance. Look at this. Look at this here. This card here. There. Looks like the butterfly, doesn't it? Looks like now the Temperance is holding your cocoon, is holding you. The Temperance is holding you. She's bringing forward a notice and a note to you. All right? You have a lot of swords here, right? There's a lot of swords, a lot of every card just about is a sword. A lot of swords. Cutting knives, swords cutting through the air, communication issues. Let's end this one. Now the Temperance is saying, right? You've got a lot of swords in your a lot of daggers, a lot of issues may be going on, but you remember that you have this wisdom. You want to start and transform yourself. Don't be tempted. Do not be tempted to take these swords. To take your one sword, right? Take your one sword. Right here, your one sword. Here, your one sword. And here, your one sword. Don't be tempted to take your power, the power of your wisdom and knowledge, and use it against someone, because it will fall back onto you. Don't be tempted. The Temperance is saying, don't be tempted. Look at you here. You are ready to bloom. You're ready to blossom. You're ready to fly. The Temperance even has tears in her eyes here. She even has tears. I don't know how well. The sun is glaring it through here. I don't know how well it's picking it up. But there's raindrops. You see, there's tears. They're not raindrops, they're tears. Coming down out of the Temperance eyes. It's a release. And it's a release of emotions. But it's also representing a little bit here not to be tempted, because it's only going to bring emotional drama and more trauma to you. Okay? So let's go ahead and pull a card here for you. The Healing Waters deck. Healing Water deck. Let's see what this Oracle deck has to say. Let's see what they have to say on this situation. Oh, these cards are so stiff. Oh, we got two. All right. Keep a big vision. Stay in alignment as you grow. You have Atlantis. Atlantis. The sacred well. Replenish. Self-care. Giving from a place of plenty. Atlantis. Keep your big vision. Keep your big vision. Keep your vision from this beautiful star, from this beautiful owl here. Keep that vision. Keep those vision of those stars and look to the light. Look for the better. Look for the good. Stay in alignment as you grow. Here we go. Here's your growth right here. You're going to be transforming. Replenishment, self-care, giving from a place of plenty. Look how she's standing in those gardens. Look how she's standing in the gardens here. The gardens of abundance, the gardens of beauty, right? Self-care, self-care, right? Don't let the emotions, don't let the fears control you. The temperance is saying, don't be tempted by those things. Take control. You can take control. You have much, much, much wisdom and knowledge within you. You just have to pull it out and look forward and bring it out. Bring it up and out of yourself. To come in this sacred well, to become out in the sacredness of this well, this beautifulness of this well, the beautifulness of Atlantis. All right? Just imagine what Atlantis looked like, you know, before it started getting into too much technology and too much fighting over this and fighting over that. Trying to take over, let's just say, trying to take over humanly controlled issues, trying to be the king, trying to be the queen, trying to be in control of everything, and not just letting bygones be bygones, and letting things grow and prosper the way that it should have, you know. The fall of Atlantis is a pretty interesting story, but here it's telling you to keep that big vision. Keep that big vision of yourself and how you can become this beautifulness of this in this well, in this garden, with all the abundance around you. All right? You don't want to stay here. You don't want to stay here and be this bull here, with the swords going through his heart and his body and through his eyes. All right, and there's your message. I thank you. Bye now.